I have been watching and learning about my race, the human race, especially people in the United States, the land of the brave and the free, the place I'm honored to call home. I see a country divided by hatred, social inequality, police brutality, racism, violence, just to name a few. Media outlets spend hours and hours reporting on the horrible conditions the country's in.
Texas is not the only state under threat tonight.
Most of us blame the media, but I don't know why, since we choose to glue ourselves to the TV like zombies. National news and social media become the voice of hopelessness, fear, and judgment. On top of that, for every difference we have as a human, we have created a category, a demographic, a class, or a group. We have found countless ways to divide ourselves, and not one to unite us. Now, all these groups seem to be fed up with each other, and probably for a good reason. You do not understand us, and you never will, because you're not like us. That's the mindset. However, as I saw how Hurricane Harvey ravaged through Texas and Louisiana, and how quickly relief efforts began, suddenly the conversation shifted from hatred and division to support and unity. Strangers coming together to find survivors and those who were stuck in flooded towns. Helicopter pilots and air crews flying long hours and rescuing hundreds, if not thousands of people. Did anyone care if a black Democrat female pilot deployed a Republican Japanese-American rescue swimmer to save the life of a white gay man? Of course not. Who really cares about those insignificant differences when a life is on the line? Everyone will take the help, and thankfully, that is what happens. Because inside of us, we all, and when I mean all, I mean every single human being with a heart and blood flowing through their veins knows what really matters. No matter the education level, their criminal background, their race, or religion, we all know. So I'm left with this question. Is that the only way we know how to love each other when disasters hit and suffering is imminent? When our physical lives are at stake? When violent tornadoes carve a path of destruction through the Midwest? When hurricanes sweep through entire countries, devastating everything in its path? Or when earthquakes shake the very ground we walk on? What is it about peacetime and serenity that makes us forget that we're all in this together? That we share the same planet, the same air, the same life force pulsating inside of us? As a race, we passionately fight for what we find valuable. We fight for peace, we defend peace, we just do not know how to live in peace. And I'm gonna tell you why. When a natural disaster hits, when a mass shooting occurs, when wars erupt between nations, or when someone or something threatens your peace, we will set aside our differences to fight a common enemy. That enemy could be a flood, the disaster caused by a hurricane, the corruption of a government, gangs, hate groups, political parties, or even your own neighbor. Having a common enemy arouses the inner warrior for peace and unity, and we will fight to the end until our common enemy is no longer a threat, until peace has been achieved. But what happens when we no longer have a visible common enemy? What happens when our peace is no longer threatened by anything? I'm going to tell you what happens. Our differences become the common enemy. You know all these groups we have divided ourselves in? That's the common enemy. Liberal, conservative, gays, white, black, Hispanic, Muslim, Christians, wealthy, poor, men, women, millennials, you name it. Our inner warrior for peace has something to fight for. That self-righteous voice inside of us is ready to battle again. But here's the thing, my friends, we are still missing the common enemy. What I'm here to offer you is awareness of our eternal common enemy. The enemy our inner warrior for peace is meant to fight. The true target of our self-righteous voice. The common enemy that can bring us together to fight for our race, the human race. To fight together and put aside our insignificant differences. Now, this enemy cannot be detected via visible sign. This enemy cannot be touched with weapons. This enemy cannot be harmed or defeated with physical attacks. There is no foreign policy that affects this enemy. This enemy lives inside of you and me. Some call it evil, some call it the devil, some call it the thief, the voice of doubt, the one who keeps you down, that inner resistance, the voice of fear. That is our common enemy. That is our fight. Our inner warrior for peace real enemy resides inside of you and me. When you see a police officer beating an innocent man, he's at war. This wasn't his dream as a child. When news reports show a clip of a mother beating her baby, she's at war. When you see groups rallying together in the name of hate and division, they are at war. And they are losing this inner battle, and they're calling for help. When mankind begins to channel their inner war outside, it's because we're losing. Then we begin to fight the wrong war, the wrong enemy. We are wearing the same uniform, fighting the same enemy. The enemy of love, the enemy of peace, of hope, light, and life. The enemy of unity, the voice that breeds separation. We are all in a constant battle inside, probably not in the same battlefield, but I'm here to tell you that it is the same enemy. This enemy has disguised itself for centuries, hiding within ourselves, pinning us against each other based on our differences, infiltrating our thoughts and minds with words that go against everything we're meant to be, attacking our hopes for an ideal world with a low whisper or a loud roar of doubt. One by one, we have been picked apart by this enemy. Well, guess what? No more. This enemy is working alone. It's only one voice producing this fear, division, and hate. We can unite and unleash the power of a thunderous and divine voice. There is only one voice attacking us inside. We have millions of voices available outside to speak into us, to support each of us when we are under attack, when we are down, when we question ourselves, when we question our purpose. We know how to do this. We have done it before. We can speak life, hope, courage, unity, and compassion to each other. Our words carry within them the power of creation. Let us create an ideal world that is truly free, loving, committed, and courageous. Start this creation at home with your wife, with your kids, with your husband. Bring this renewed hope to work, to the bus station, to the grocery store, to the bank. Wherever you take yourself, bring this voice of hope with you. The agony of disappointment is not greater than the joy of creating a prosperous society for us, for our children, and for our children's children.